Do you want to improve at a quicker pace? Check out the GitGud Course. Instead of just understanding concepts, you'll learn how to implement them directly into your driving. What makes it effective is the approach and practical drills. Together, we're gonna focus on breaking down those complex concepts into small digestible bits that are simple to understand. Everything from the course was tested and refined during the years in coaching sessions, so what I ended up with was the ones that I saw were the most effective. Let's elevate your racing skills together. Now for the track guide. Guys, before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my sim racing course in the video description. Now going into the track guide itself, turn 1 you really have to use all the space. So as you can see here, the track opens up. But you can get a slowdown if you're pushing the car too early on the left side. So what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to position the car and to cross this blue line when the blue line is almost ending, like right now. You see, because if you will do it a bit earlier, you'll basically cross over the pit exit line and you will get a slowdown. So for turn 1, we do have to use all the track as you can see, the track opens up at this point in time. But if you're gonna push it too early, you will get a slowdown. We want to avoid that, you're gonna do a bit later. But definitely use all the track. Like the moment that you will start turning into the corner, you should be all the way here, like near the grass, almost on the white line on the left side. That's the perfect entry. We will use second gear for this corner. And what's important here, because super easy to lose time. And it's also super easy to spin the car or to have the TC kicking in. You need a late apex. So as you can see from this point in time, you can't properly see all the curb. So you don't want to take it in the beginning, you want to touch it in this part when you see this dirt around here. There's a specific point here that I'm using. You see, this curb has a bit of extra part around here where we have this exit concrete road. I want to apex in the middle of it, like the middle part right here. This is where I'm putting my tire on. And then from this point onward, I'm applying the throttle. As you can see here, I'm already back on the gas. And when pushing the throttle, don't go super aggressive here. You see, I have to modulate a bit and then go, because the rear will start to slide. And if you push too aggressively there on the throttle, you will spin or you will have the TC kicking in. And either way, you will be slow. What you're aiming though on the exit is just brushing this curb with your left tire. Don't go past the curb, because if you will touch this, let's say, grass part where the dirt meets the grass, you will scrub some speed, and when you're climbing again on the curb, you will lose some speed as well. So just touch the curb and that's gonna be fine. Now this corner will be flat out. Just keep it tight on the right side like I'm doing right now. Kissing this curve right here, keeping it flat. Now I'm following the white line basically, look. Following the white line, hitting the curb, positioning so that I'm at the white line before turning. And in this corner, you have to turn a bit before seeing the corner. So right now, I can't properly see the next corner. It will be a flat out corner, but if I will turn too late, if I will turn when I will see the corner, it will be too late and the front tires will slide. So instead, at this point in time, look, I'm already pointing the car, and I will point more and more as I get closer to the curb. You really want to take as much curb as you can here, because ideally on the exit you want to be near this white line here where we have this arrow sign, and the braking point for the next corner is past the arrow. So what I'm doing here is, after this sign right here, I just go like 2-3 meters and I'm applying the brakes like right now. You can use that sign as a braking reference, because you know once you passed it, immediately you're gonna be on the brakes. And this is a part of a track where the track opens up a bit, because look what's gonna happen. You have this amount of available space here, but at this point in time you can also use this curbing on the left side to open up a bit more. So in this attempt I wasn't using all the track. You can put your left tire a bit more on the curb, like right here, but as a rule of thumb, you want to have this car position in this part of the track before turning into the next corner, trail braking into the corner, and super important, you need to cut a lot of the inside curb here. Look, you can go like this and get completely over the dirt without getting an off track or a penalty. And this will be key because look, at this point in time, I'm already back on throttle. And you won't be able to be so early on throttle and so quickly to 100% if you're not cutting enough in that corner, so keep it in mind. Here, don't touch the gravel, just use the curb like this, you'll get an off track. And now this corner will be flat. What I'm doing right now, I'm cutting as much as I can and I'm trying to take the shortest path to the next corner. So here I'm not going all the way to the right side because I can get away with the car being, let's say, in the center right. You don't have to put your car on the curb on the right. Just keep it in the center right. Take this corner and cut a lot the curb because you want on the exit to be almost parallel to the white line. Look, as close as I can to the white line. And immediately after I'm going past the curb, I'm applying the brake. So this is my reference for braking. Immediately after going past the curb. So look. Here, I'm cutting the curb and then immediately go on the brakes. While braking, keep the steering wheel straight here. So don't brake and turn. Brake like what I'm doing, I'm aiming towards this, let's say in the middle of the sign on the green banner here. I'm pushing the car like almost in between them. So keeping the car straight, steering wheel straight, braking in a straight line up until I hit the peak pressure, and then I'm bleeding the brakes more and I'm trail braking into the corner. In second gear, you want to cut this curb again, you want to hit the curb and then be early on throttle because you can gain a lot of time here if you're early on throttle like this. Now going into the next corner, this is a blind corner, so first of all use all the track. Notice how I have my left tire is almost kissing the grass. This is gonna be key here. We want to open up as much as we can. Then whenever you brake almost when you see this arrow sign here on the right side. You see this sign here? When you're seeing this or close slightly before it, you're gonna apply the brakes. You're gonna brake and turn for this corner. You don't brake in a straight line. You brake and you turn into this corner. You're gonna trail brake up until you hit these curbs and then you're gonna go back on throttle. So careful here, because look in my brake trace. You see I braked and then I dropped and I trail brake. If you will just spike the brakes here, you won't have the required grip, so make sure you're gonna trail brake, then putting the throttle, stay tight around here, looks like almost like a double apex with the first and the second one. Fully on the throttle, using all the curb, and now we're heading towards the chicane. This chicane is quite easy because it allows you to hit those sticks without taking damage, so it's quite easy to cut a lot here in this corner. What I'm doing, I'm braking in the middle of these two arrows. So at this point in time I'm braking. It's slightly bit like it's not exactly in the middle, it's a bit earlier than the middle, but this is my braking zone. I'm using all this curb, I'm braking on it because I'm not braking very hard. And then in third gear I want to cut here as much as I can. Look, I'm imagining that I'm going through these sticks, because literally you're going through them, there's no resistance. And then the moment that you're going out of the first chicane, out of the first corner of the chicane, you have to smash the throttle like this, cut here as much as you can too, and then continue to build up the throttle. And now leading to the hairpin. My reference for braking here is a bit difficult because we don't have a precise marker that we can use. But what I'm using right now is this part right here, this, how do I call it? You see this black part, this black thingy around here? I will brake before I'm at it. So I try to approximate the distance, but this is what I'm using to get the feel right. You want to brake and hold constant pressure of the brakes. In first gear, you want to get even closer than what I did here and cut the inside curb. And then when you go back on throttle, super important, look, like right now I'm in this position. Try to unwind the steering wheel as soon as you can when you fully commit to the throttle. Look, the speed of the unwinding the steering wheel, like right now, I just put it straight, even though I'm pointing here, that's fine. I correct some of the oversteer that I got, but in short, you have to be quick with the hands into that sector, because if you will just hold this too much, you will just make the rear spin more than you need. And now we're heading towards the last corner, which is in my opinion the difficult corner, the most difficult corner of the track. The visibility is really bad, the grip levels are not the same, and in this lap I lose like 1/10 and something because of a mistake. So overall I think this lap had 3 more tenths in it, but losing a little bit here, a little bit there. It's quite easy to make mistakes. Even though it looks like a simple track, this is a technical and difficult one. There are 2-3 corners where you can gain or lose a lot, and this is one of those corners. So for this, my approach is as follows. I want to use all this curb when braking, so notice that I'm aligning myself with the grass. The moment that I'm on the curb, basically slightly bit later than touching the curb, I'm applying the brakes. And I want to brake in a straight line initially. So right now I'm pointing towards this gate here, so going straight. Don't brake too hard, but go in first gear, and then you will start to turn more when you see this blue curve. Ideally, you want to hit this white line in this little kink here. You see, this white line here has a bit of part where the white line goes a bit more towards the inside. This kink right here. You want to hit it there with your left tire, and then you want to go on throttle. But the problem is that you're going a bit downhill and it's a blind corner. So what I did here to make this corner a bit easier was firstly to brake very early for this corner to get the feeling, and then to acknowledge this difference in grip levels. Look, you're going from this elevation, from a higher elevation, from a crest, you're going downhill like this. And when you're going like this, you go to the upper and then to the lower. Into the trail brake, you will have slightly less grip as the road just falls a bit down. Like in this part, when it's not completely down and it's not completely up, you will have a bit less grip. And I'm reflecting this change with my brake trace. Look, I'm dropping the brakes because here I have less grip, and then I'm reapplying the brakes when I get more grip, and then I'm trying to trail. So what I'm trying to say here is that your brake trace should reflect this difference in mechanical grip levels. And overall, quite difficult corner, quite difficult track. I hope you have a nice week ahead, and again, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my sim racing course in the video description. Join my Discord if you want to chat, and see you on the next one. Bye bye.